Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. Great article here from Fortune. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So this is going to be an interesting video with an interesting topic. AT&T's CEO, for those of you who don't know, that's John Stankey. A looming airwave gap will bring higher cell phone bills. So this is a fear in the market, higher cell phone bills, right? Reduced competition, smaller carriers being bought out by bigger carriers, consolidation in the market. And here goes AT&T CEO saying if we don't get more airwaves, meaning spectrum in the pipeline, it will bring higher cell phone bills. So what is he essentially referring to? Why is my cell phone bill going up higher if today I have enough capacity to do all my tasks, FWA, the next killer 5G app, right? So I want to break that down briefly. So what AT&T is tracking, this is their analysis, this is their numbers. They're tracking a 20% increase in wireless usage annually, and they're expecting that 20% number to double by 2028. So that's a 40% increase of usage. And that's, they're already thinking about AI, robots, you name it. Trump recently talked about flying cars, and that's probably going to have some type of wireless usage included in that. And so usage is increasing, but if there's no spectrum in the pipeline, and we saw this with Verizon, they didn't buy enough spectrum per the amount of customers they had during LTE. God forbid AT&T has to densify. The second that there's densification involved, they're screaming higher cell phone bills. Verizon has been densifying for a long time now, and they continue to do so. And yes, they may have the highest cell phone bill today, next to T-Mobile. If you exclude taxes and fees, T-Mobile is a little bit cheaper, or they still claim to be 20% cheaper. But God forbid AT&T has to densify to make up for the lack of spectrum, and now they're screaming higher cell phone bills. Would that be the outcome anyway? Even if there was spectrum in the pipeline, it's possible, right? I would like to sit down with Stanky and ask him, hey, Stanky, even if 3.1 and other spectrum is made available, are cell phone bills still going to go higher? And I would like to know his answer, because it's probably a yes, a resounding yes. Cell phone bills are going to go up. Everything has been, more expensive. Buying the panels, the radios, the tower climbers, they're wanting more money. The contracts are getting more expensive. So there's no way around it, right? That's why we have prepaid MVNOs. So there's optionality in the market. If you don't like your postpaid price, you can go to a lower plan. You can go to a total wireless, $25 a month, unlimited everything. Mobile X, 2588 or 2488, unlimited everything. You have options to pay less. There's options in the market today. So, I don't want to hear, the market's consolidating, there's no competition. There is competition. Look no further than prepaid. You don't have to be on postpaid. Go to prepaid, go to an MVNO. I don't know why John Stankey, AT&T CEO, is putting fear in the market now that there's going to be higher cell phone bills. So policymakers have long said that we're doing what they could to ease the pocketbook pain of the average Americans. Like I said, it's a fear. Now a new administration has a chance to take real action that will help prevent higher cell phone bills while also connecting more Americans and keeping our communication infrastructure competitive with China. So spectrum is a critical part. I won't deny that, because if you have more spectrum that you can put on an already existing tower and have it perform even better, then there's no need for additional capital allocation to deploy more equipment around that same area to keep that area flowing nicely, right? The spectrum will solve that problem. You can just upgrade a site. Now that site is doing gig plus speeds, and you don't have to have anything in your pipeline to deploy small cells, additional towers, offloading, right? So that's going to bring the cell phone bills down in theory, right? But you now have, I want to point this out, and I wish I could have that conversation with Stinky. You now have three carriers that are very financially competitive. You now have a Verizon, you now have an AT&T, you now have a T-Mobile. T-Mobile is doing $18 billion by 2026 of free cash flow. They have a great credit rating now that they can go to the debt market with. So you're going to have three carriers that are going to, if there's a bidding for more spectrum, you have three carriers now that are going to kill each other for a slice. And one is going to go bigger than the other. So what's the outcome of that? Never mind the densification, and what's the outcome of the carrier spending another 40, 50, 60 billion on spectrum as it becomes available? Higher cell phone bills. So regardless of how you look at it, demand or not, you're going to have higher cell phone bills. So if I was Stinky, I wouldn't put the blame on the administration. Yes, it plays a huge part. Yeah, where is the spectrum? But even if it becomes available and you have to buy it, you now have three capable players that are going to kill each other for it, so to speak. So a higher cell phone bill, it's almost unavoidable. And if it was up to me and I had the choice, yes, spectrum is good, but if you add additional infrastructure like small cells, offloading small cells, another site, it always leads to better RSRP, cleaner signal. So it's just a better all-around experience than densification. And there are a lot of people out there that will argue with you that they'll take densification over spectrum. And in many instances, engineers will agree. They will say, I'd rather have the densification. It's a much better overall performing network with the densification. If you can offload onto another site, right, and then that site is closer to the user equipment, you have better uplink, better downlink. You have all of the technologies that are now available, like uplink, MIMO, and carrier aggregation on uplink. Uplink is the first to cut out. If it has carrier aggregation, no matter what, it's the first to cut out the further you get from a site. Downlink, it's still good for miles and miles and miles, right? If you do aggregation, it's the uplink. So when you have that densification, it's just better across the board. So just wanted to talk about that in this video. I don't want to say Stinky's overreacting. I mean, they see what they see, and you can see it here. Over the last 3 years, traffic on AT&T wireless network has grown by 20% annually, and it's projected to double by 2028. So that's 40% annually. So that's an insane demand. So of course they're going to panic. They're going to say, "Oh man, if these markets don't gain further densification and we don't have spectrum, what do we do?" They're going to have to densify. Even if there's nothing in the pipeline for a few more years, AT&T has to plan densification to allow the network to continue to handle the demand. If they don't, then it's gonna be congestion. All right, that's what that's gonna lead to. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.